Am I the butthole for telling my mother-in-law she's not welcome in my home? So, this is a long one, but I really need an outside perspective on whether I'm the bad guy here. I 29F have been married to my husband 31M for years, and we have a 2-year-old son. We've had our ups and downs, but we've built a happy life together. However, there's one dark cloud hanging over our marriage: my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law has always been difficult. She's extremely opinionated, critical, and has a habit of overstepping boundaries. At first, I chalked it up to normal in-law tension, but over time, things started escalating. For example, when we first moved into our house, she gifted us some of her old furniture that we didn't want. When I tried to politely decline, she said, "I don't understand why you're rejecting perfectly good things," and just brought it over anyway. I didn't want to cause drama, so we kept the stuff. Little did I know that was only the beginning. Whenever she visits, it's like a tornado of unsolicited advice and judgment. She criticizes how I clean, which I'm honestly very particular about, makes snide comments about the decor choices, that color scheme is so dull, and once suggested we change our son's name because she never really liked it. And don't even get me started on the parenting advice. According to her, we're spoiling our child by letting him play with toys she deems too modern and not putting him to bed early enough. Keep in mind, she raised her own kids in the 90s, so some of her ideas are really outdated. About 6 months ago, my husband had surgery and was recovering at home. Instead of giving us space, my mother-in-law insisted on staying over to help, even though I told her I had everything under control. What ended up happening was her monopolizing my husband's time, telling me I wasn't taking care of him properly, and basically trying to run our household. I had to bite my tongue the whole time, just for the sake of peace. But the final straw came last weekend. She showed up unannounced as usual, walked in without knocking, and immediately started with the passive-aggressive comments. This time it was about how the house wasn't up to her standards and how our son was misbehaving. He wasn't. He's just a toddler. I was already exhausted from a long week of work and taking care of our son, and I guess I just couldn't take it anymore. After she told me I should really rethink how you're managing this household, I finally snapped. I told her, if you can't respect our home, our parenting, and our choices, then you're no longer welcome here. I'll admit, I said it in the heat of the moment, but I meant every word. She looked shocked, said nothing, and left. About an hour later, she texted my husband a long rant about how I've disrespected her, how she's always been nothing but helpful, and how I'm driving a wedge between him and his family. Here's the thing, my husband mostly agrees with me. He knows his mum has been a problem, but he's torn. He's very close to his family and doesn't like conflict, so he's upset that it came to this. He said that while he agrees with setting boundaries, he thinks I could have handled it better. Now, my mother-in-law is playing the victim and has rallied the entire family against me. They're calling and texting him, saying I'm being unfair and cruel to his poor mother, and that I'm destroying the family. One of his aunts even suggested that I need to apologize. At this point, I'm second-guessing everything. I know I could have been calmer, but I genuinely feel like I had no other choice. I've put up with years of passive-aggressive comments and boundary crossing, and I've finally hit my breaking point. But now my husband is stressed out, his family hates me, and I'm wondering if I overreacted. I don't want to be the reason my husband's relationship with his family is damaged, but at the same time, I feel like my mother-in-law's behavior has been damaging our relationship for years. So, Reddit, am I the butthole for telling my mother-in-law she's not welcome in our home?